Mr Speaker.
I call the honourable member Barbara Stewart.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Firstly, I must recognise Georgina Beyer. It's always a pleasure to see former MPs return to the House. Mr Speaker, in this House, we need to keep up with the times that we actually live in. Be aware of what is actually happening. People expect us to be aware of what's happening around the country and to take some action. The area of body art is very popular today, tattooing for some of us, and the government has basically got a good role to play in ensuring that everyone who has a tattoo is safe. If they don't, it is very costly to the health system. Other countries are actually moving on this front, and it is time that New Zealand followed their example. We have got a total lack of regulation in this area. Many of the licensed operators want action, and they are contacting me to ensure that some action is actually forthcoming. What have we got? Importation of tattoo equipment, including the ink, with high levels of lead. Who cares? No one cares. We've got the on-selling of tattoo equipment to anyone and everyone. And who cares? Again, no one cares. And of course, to add to this, we've got unlicensed members of the public actually practising their art on unsuspecting members of the public. We have to stop these products coming in at the border. We don't know who is importing these tattoo kits, how many are coming in, who is actually buying these tattoo kits. The only way to prevent these unlicensed tattooists, often called scratchers around the industry, is to limit their ability to get a tattoo kit. And the only agency that can make this happen is the government, and it is time that action was carried out. I've got an email here from a tattooist, and he believes, and I totally agree with him, that there should be some laws about this. He says resellers of skin penetration equipment and pigments should be licensed in some way as responsible resellers, so they themselves are accountable. Resellers should not be allowed to on-sell their equipment to unlicensed practitioners. And the purchaser's info should be required on invoice statements as well as their skin penetration licence. We do this for doctors, we do this for dentists, so it is timely that we did this for these tattooists. We don't want to see licensed studios who import their own equipment hindered by this law. They need to carry on as they previously were. Does anybody in this House believe that the kits that are advertised on Trade Me and other internet sites with a reserve price of $1 for one kit with 2 guns, that the buyer is actually going to be licensed? No, definitely not. We don't know who's going to actually buy that equipment. What's happened? The internet has become a site, a bootleg site, to bootleg off these substandard inks to unsuspecting buyers. So what have we got? We've got unknown quantity of gear coming in, unknown quality of gear coming in, and a vast amount of ink. Ironical that you can't buy inks off of Trade Me, but if you buy a tattoo kit, the seller will ask you, do you want ink with that? And of course, it's far easier to get the ink. I know of people that are going to the $2 shops to actually buy the ink. Now, how safe is that ink? What we've got here, allowing unlicensed people to tattoo, is actually dangerous to the population at large and, of course, to the industry. Those people that are legal, that are licensed, that carry out all of the rules. I know for a fact that many licensed tattooists spend their time fixing up the botched jobs that the unlicensed tattooists have actually carried out. Usually, price is pretty similar, but the quality is shocking. And what sort of health risks have we got here? We're looking at infections, we're looking at scarring, we're looking at nerve damage, we're looking at hepatitis C, and even HIV/AIDS. Recently, got informed about a group of young people that bought...
I call the honourable member, Young Jen, Ni hao ma.
很好。